Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you saw in the previous video, I got the Audi back together. I took it for a little bit of a drive afterwards and I heard a noise from the front left wheel. Popped across to my mate's shop, we put it up on the two-post lift, and with doing some investigation underneath, we thought it might be shock top mount or sway bar link. So I ordered both of them, shock top mount and sway bar links. They arrived, so my mate said he'll open up the shop for me today, which is Sunday, and I'm going to have the shop to myself and I'm going to be able to do the work that I need to do on the two-post lift. The ABS light, I'm quite certain it is the slip ring or clock spring, which sits behind the steering wheel. So I'm also going to, once I'm done that, I'm going to bring the car back home, put it in the garage, and I'm going to take the steering wheel off and get the slip ring off. There's a gent in Pretoria who says he might be able to repair it. If not, I'll have to buy a new slip ring. Let's get started. With an almost faultless dash, other than the airbag light, I'm on my way across to Evans Motorsport. I asked my mate if I could put it up on the lift to have a look underneath to replace fuel filter, and there seems to be a noise coming from the front left wheel, so I'm on my way there now to go put the car up on the lift. Okay, so managed to get the car up on the two-post. I need to take scuttle panel out, so to do that I'm going to have to take the wiper arms off, take the scuttle panel out, and then loosen the top shock mounts from this side. Then we can go up and start dismantling by each of the wheels. Different angle, so 13 bolt to take the wiper arm off, both of them, then pull the rubbers off, and then we can take the scuttle panel out to get to the shock top mount. Okay, now to release the shock top hat, it's a 21 spanner, and that should then take that bolt out and allow the shock to drop out the bottom. Same thing on the other side. Might need to put a Allen through with a different socket to allow us to loosen that, but I'll try that now. To try and explain the process again, I loosen the steering knuckle, 16. I loosen the bottom mount here from the hub to the shock. That is a funny spline with a 18 the other side. I've got to loosen the sway bar link, that's a 17, and the same thing at the bottom here. And then I got to loosen, 16, and then I got to loosen these lower ball joint mounts, which are 16 as well, off the control arm. And then once all of that's loose, I put the spreader in over here, which then spreads the hub off the shock, and then I'm able to separate. I did spray penetrating oil earlier here to allow it to start penetrating, so by the time I get to stripping this thing apart, it comes off a bit easier. So let's give that a try. Yeah, I've got a shock and a spring compressor, very fancy spring compressor, and I'm going to crank it down to allow me to get that top nut off. Okay, let's take top mount off. I'm going to compress the spring. There.
So those other bits won't fit through there?
Mm-mm. Yes.
Put that car on my side.
No, don't put your side. I'm putting that in. Ed had to loosen it. I couldn't. I'm just cleaning this top piece with the Brillo pad, cleaning all the old like grease and stuff off. I'll give it a wash quickly, and then I can put some silicone paste on it again and then put it back together. Perfect. Can put the bearing on, and I put a bit of silicone paste here as well. Okay, just tighten it up now. Now this shock top man can go back in. Let's go reinstall. Okay. So I'm going to hold there with the 18. Other way. Can put the new sway bar link in quick. Let's move to the other side. I'm going to use a brass rod to shock the steering knuckle out. This one's not as bad, eh? As that front left, but that's where the noise is coming from, was front left. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we've taken all the pressure of the spring off this top ring. Now we can loosen this top bolt. Or try, let's see if I got the strength. No. Ed? By the way, this is my mate Ed. Jeez, I don't know why they're so tight. Thank you. There's the old bearing off. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to clean it with some Brillo pad, clean the top here, and then install the new top mount.
Where's the top nut, Jared?
You had it. Yeah. Okay, we've got new top mounts on the shock, ready to put back in. Okay. Oh, wait. We need to bend that straight. While I had the tires off yesterday, we noticed that these pads are finished. This is rear right. So I quickly went this morning to go grab some new brake pads for the rear of the Audi. Let's get them installed. To take the caliper off, you've got to hold that bolt, which is 15, that one there, which is a 13, and you can loosen the top bolt, the bottom bolt, and then you've got to disconnect this cable, which is the handbrake cable. Got to take that out and then use a long nose pliers to loosen those clips there to pull that out. That's the rear disc, rear pad, both of them pretty finished. That's where that noise was coming from. Yeah, I've got this side apart. I need to wind that back, but more concerning is this disc. There's a bit of a lip there and an even bigger lip over there. So we're going to see if we can get the oaks out to come skim the discs quickly, cut them straight, take these lips away, and then I'll put back together. That's skimming the rear left disc. It's done a surface cut. And then is now doing the final cut to clear it up and make it smooth. Okay, the discs have been cut and they're straight. Now I've got to wind back the calipers. So I've just got this wind back tool that will wind them back with quickly. I'm just using a bit of silicone paste on the sliders and on the back. Okay, and that's the handbrake back together. Now we can put the wheels on. And that is done. Let's take it for a drive. Driving home from the shop, from Evans, everything sounds and feels perfect. Brakes are awesome. No more squeal or noises on the brakes. And that noise from the front left wheel is definitely gone. So that was, as I said, either shock top mount or sway bar link. But all is sorted now and the car goes like a dream. You can see the area lights are, well, the engine light goes off once the car starts, everything else goes off. But the airbag light is on and that's the ESC, I think it is. The ESC light is on, so I'm going to use my code reader to see. Let's see if I can get this again. Basically, there we go. Okay, let me swap sides. I'll flip the steering wheel 180 degrees. There you go. Okay, to get the clock spring out, I need to turn the ignition on to unlock the steering lock. Let's do that. I've already shown you how to open the back. You didn't put that. Yeah. I've shown you how I open the steering wheel, but basically you lean behind here and you've got to pull down on the spring to allow to release the airbag. There you can see the steering wheel the airbag has been released. So now I just got to carefully unplug it. Place it downwards. Make sure you place the airbag downwards if you ever take it out, just in case something had to go wrong and it had to pop. At least it can go up and it doesn't launch itself. So just going to put it down there. That's a bit of a spanner. I was anticipating the steering wheel having a nut, not a spline or a multi-spline. I don't think I've got a spline that big. I need to have a look. I don't have the spline. I'm going to have to go get quickly I'll be back in a bit. I managed to get a multi-spline. It's an M12 to take out the nut that's holding, or bolt that's holding the steering wheels. So let's crack that. There we go. Okay, we'll put that down there. And I see there's already a mark. Let me show you. You can see there's already a mark on the column to where the steering wheel was. So I hope I get it back there. We'll see. So we can take steering wheel off now. That came off a lot easier than I thought it would. Just put that down there. Then I think I'm going to have to unclip these plastics. Let me get my plastic set. Okay, I've got my little plastic thingy. I don't know what these are called. Let's unclip this up. There we go. I think there's a spline underneath here. That's the lower plastic down. The top plastic I'm going to leave here. Okay, clock spring, got to make sure you don't move it, because if you lose track of the amount of turns, it can be quite problematic. So let's take off that's a little bit smaller. These three splines over here are T15. So let's take those off. That's one. Two. Three. Four connections. Seems to be one more. Ah, there is at the bottom here. Five. So there's 5 connections to the clock spring or slip ring. And there that is off. So I'm going to put a piece of insulation tape through here just to hold it in its position to make sure that I don't confuse that. And I'm going to leave this as it is until I get this clock spring back. We'll see. So it's been probably about 2 weeks. I've been really struggling. The gent I took the slip ring to and the airbag to, he actually tested the slip ring and he said it is the slip ring that's the fault, but it's the PC board inside. It's not the ribbon or anything. So he wasn't able to fix or repair it. Then I've been searching far and wide trying to find a replacement slip ring matching my code, and I just cannot. I've looked on Facebook Marketplace, I've looked everywhere, even generic units. Really been struggling, but eventually I found one on Facebook Marketplace. The part code is mostly the same, it's just the ending that's different. This is AL, this is E. All the pins match, the count on the pins, everything matches. So I'm going to install this one, plug it in, and see if that solves our problem with the driver airbag igniter resistance to its hold duns. So I'm going to install this one quickly and see if that helps us, if that solves the problem. in. Put the key in the ignition to unlock the ignition lock. Okay, nothing's happened. Let me grab my code tool to see if we can clear the code. Okay, I've got my code tool plugged in. Let's see if we're still picking up the airbag light. Okay, I got a whole bunch of error codes, but it could be stored. Steering angle sensor, steering column, control module, steering angle sensor. Power steering, steering angle sensors, all of the steering angle sensors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear all error codes. I see the airbag light has gone off on the dashboard, so that's good. Clear fault memory completed. So the only error I'm getting is steering angle sensor, so I think I might need to clear that or calibrate that, but let's see. I'm going to end diagnostic. There's a whole process that I need to do. To start the vehicle, drive a short distance in a straight line on a level surface at a speed not higher than 20 km an hour. While driving, turn the wheel one turn to the right and one turn to the left. When having the steering straight again, stop the vehicle with the wheels pointed straight. Ensure that the steering wheel is not moved again. Keep engine running and do not switch the ignition off. Okay, so it's quite a process I need to do. So I'm going to have to pull out the garage. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it says one slower than 20. I don't know if I'm going to manage a full turn right. Let's see. So that's full turn right. Full turn left, and then stop straight. Okay, no, this isn't working. I'm gonna have to go to a parking lot and try it in the parking lot. Okay, I've tried it at the parking lot as well, and that also hasn't helped. So I don't know what to do to clear the steering angle sensor, but I'm gonna try and do the read codes again, see what it's still reading, and try Google and see if there's anything else I can do to try and fix this. Okay, it's been a couple days since we stripped it. I found a slip ring, we've repaired it, you'll see in another video. Time to reinstall and see if this is all right now. Just want to Google this torque spec quickly. According to Google, the torque spec, I'll show it now. The torque spec for this nut is 50 Newton meters. So I got my Normal torque wrench. Okay, that's torque. can put the steering wheel airbag back in. Clip that in. Now let's turn ignition on, and hopefully the codes, the warning lights are gone. Okay, the airbag light is still on, but I think that's a stored error, so I'm going to clear it quickly with my code reader and see what other errors there are. Okay, it's come up with a couple error codes, but they're all passive, not active anymore as far as I can see. The steering angle sensor I'm going to have to relearn because it says no basic setting, so that you've got to code or learn, but otherwise it's saying passive. All the errors are passive, so even the airbag igniter resistance too high, passive. So I'm going to clear all these codes. Okay, so all the codes have cleared except for no basic setting on the steering angle sensor, and in this one it says control unit and steering wheel no communication, but there is no multifunction. This slip ring can handle multifunction steering wheel, but we don't have that. So let's see. Playing around with a couple settings on the code reader, I managed to actually get the steering angle sensor basic setting done. So the only fault left is control unit and steering wheel no communication, but we don't have, as I say. So all the error lights off the car, the dash are gone. So that's handbrake. Let me put seatbelt on. And that is a clear dash or clear cluster. Let's take it for a drive and see. Now that all warning lights are gone and there's no more lights or error lights or warning lights on the dashboard, I'm quite happy that the car is done and complete. Front end's finished and looking really nice. I got the new license plates on, but I've just covered that up. And inside is clean, so car is all sorted, and that's my work on this project done. I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. I think it looks really nice and quite beautiful. I really love this RS style grille. I think it really finishes up this front end quite nicely, so very happy on that. And overall I think I've learned a lot from this project, things to do, things not to do, like that slip ring that stumped me for quite a bit, but we eventually figured that out and got that right. And yeah, the car is done, so now it's time to say goodbye to this car and maybe look for the next project. I don't know what the next project's gonna be, but we'll see. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing. If you enjoyed the series, please let me know your thoughts. Do you guys enjoy the cars or working on the bikes? What do you guys enjoy more? Until the next video.